Welcome, and here we're looking at the S&P 500, and the wave count is not a great deal of help across the indices at the moment, because the move that we have down through here can be an A and a B and a C, or it could develop into 5 waves down, in terms of if we move this to here as wave 1, wave 2 to here, wave 3 to here, then it would leave wave 4 to here and wave 5 down through to here. If we do get that 5 waves down, then we know where we are, because after 5 waves comes 3 waves and then another 5. So if we do get 5 waves down here as such, then we would be looking for an A and a B and a C wave, and then we'll be looking at another 5 through here. So this is pretty much the same across the board in its own in each indice's own little way, and we'll get to those. But look, at the moment, this is pulled back to the 61.8 retracement level here. It is in 3 waves. It can move up through here. If that is going to be the case, then we'd want 1872 as a support. That would confirm further upside, and then we'd be looking for a stronger third wave going up here, in terms of an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then going up for wave 3. So look, it's just, we just have to wait it out. We're just at one of those junctions that it could just go either way. So yeah, nothing I can really sort of do or say. So we just really need to allow this to play out. So on this 15-minute here, it would end up being something like this. We've got one wave up here. We can see this is corrective through here. Yep. So it's likely that we'll get some sort of other structure up here. This wave here would have some sort of equality to this wave here as an A and a B and a C here. But as I mentioned, we'd need to get support on here and get a reference point to trade long from that point there. That's as much as I know. They will be the levels that we use, and this is the same for the other markets as well. If we're looking at the the Dow Jones here, we can see that we've got 3 waves here. So this is a corrective wave here. So it's likely that we'll see more downside, but an A and a B and a C wave to here, and then down from here, that point there. So yeah, same with the DAX as well. But DAX and the FTSE have been in progress of quite a bit longer. There is support through here on the daily point here. We are looking at this being an A and a B and a C here, and it does appear that it can be finished here now as such. So just drilling into this particular structure down through to here, yeah, we've got our 5 waves here. Basically, well, this one can be to here or to here. It doesn't, not that it matters, because it doesn't matter, because we can see the very clear, strong third wave coming in through this area through here. So this would end up being the 4th and the 5th here, which may not be finished. There may be one more little push down here because of this third wave here. So the 1 and the 2 in here, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th here. So look, using the levels here as well, the 9-3 here would be the top of group 1, 100, 200, and 300. So a nice tested support there would create the long trades. While it's trapped within group 2, group 1 here, then it's trapped and it can move further to the downside. And normally we would use the 92 here, the 2, 1, 2, and 3, the 2 being the pivot within group 1. If that becomes the retested resistance, then that will be pulled down to not only 9,100, but also lower at 9,000 as well. So that 9.2 there is a real line in the sand, and that's something that you can drill into if you're trading this particular market through here. So at the moment here, you can see that the correction has been working itself across here. We're looking at the low here. This also appears to be in 3 waves up here as well. So in an A and a B and a C. So this is also appears corrective here as well. So we're just looking at a larger correction here, most likely in terms of an A and a B and a C wave coming back up into this sort of area through here and then folding over from here. If that's the case and this becomes the resistance here, then you can short from that point there. But you'll need to allow this to play out. 92.50 as the retested support would be some strength to the upside, but in the bigger picture, as mentioned, 9300 would be there. All the indicators would be oversold at this point here, so you can expect a sort of rally which is occurring now. The FTSE here, we've been looking at this in terms of an A and a B and a C, and also a low can be in here, and also we're looking at this C wave here being in 5 waves here and then moving up from there. So just looking at that on the intraday here. Once again, it does appear complete now, this particular 5 waves here. In terms of 5 waves here is quite clear for 1 and 2. As I mentioned before, it's a little bit dodgy sort of in here, but you know, this is a nice strong 3rd wave in here now. So we can include this as the 4th from this point here, and the 5th wave down through here. So this can actually move up from here. However, if say the 66.50 there becomes the retested support, then you can glean small positions from that and move up from there. If the fails and the 6.6 becomes the resistance, then the main point here is that we need to look down at the medium level here, 6.5, because this would be cascading down here further. But there is a count here, as mentioned, that can see the market to the upside. And the same with the ASX 200, because the move down so far from the high up here counts as, well, it's 3 waves. So it can be an A wave and a B wave and a C wave and finishing, or it can be wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and wave 5. So we're in the same boat here with the other indices. All these indices in each country are in their own little sort of genre, I guess, in their wave count, different sort of wave counts. But so here we need to use the levels here to trade with as well. So obviously you can see that, well, this market works quite well, not to only every 100 points, but also to every 50 points. So the 53.50 is very important. So if that became the retested resistance, you can straight away look down to 5300 here. And if it did move down to 5300, that would give us 5 waves down from this high here. And we'll just run over this a little bit just so we're on the same page. So down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, 4, if it was going to be the case, and down for 5 here. If that's the case, then we'd be looking at a 50% retracement level. This is the main supply through this area here, so the 50-60 here. And if we get 5 here, that means we'll get another 5 over here. Okay, so that's important at that degree. As I mentioned, this degree here is only in 3 waves down, so we've got an A and a B and a C here, so this can move up from here. And if you're going to move up from here, well, there's obviously going to be resistance at the 5400 here, because that's where the supply is. But if you wanted to get a leg higher, then using group 2 here, so that's, if I got this on an intraday here, I do. So on the intraday here, if the 53.72 becomes a nice retested support, and you know, it's not enough just to shoot up from here, it's the retest that's more important, and it's got to stabilize on there. And the same here is what hasn't done it here. It could do it over here. If it does do it over here and it's nice and retest, it's tested, and you can see that, be patient, then you can move up and adding on the 53.80 here. You know, there's going to be resistance at every 10 points coming up into this lot up here, that's for sure. But it's a chance to glean a few small positions. Otherwise, it will look to fail from the 72 and work lower. But you would need to be a little bit careful in gleaning positions through here, because even if it does get to the 53 here, it's likely to bounce back up to the 60 before it goes down here again as well. So it depends on your strategy, I guess. But group 2 here, Group 2, 65, 72 and 80 as support, then it's got a base to work to the upside on. It's tried to get support so far, but it's failed each time and it's creating lower highs here, so it's got a sign of weakness. Let's just see how it travels. As it gets closer to the opening, have a look at the market depth in CBA and BHP, see where some leads are coming from on that side of the fence there. It should be a pretty even sort of opening with the SPY futures being pretty much the same as they were yesterday. Alrighty, that's it. Cheers.